Round 11 action. Welcome to viewers. We're at Watkins, Glen. We're using the classic boots. This is the track this week. I'm Brenton O'Brien. With me as usual, Sammy Compton. Sammy, welcome to the broadcast. Just the 2 rounds to go. Ethan Griggold from STC Motorsport's in a very comfortable position.
Yeah, he is, Brenton. Thanks for having me, and thanks to everyone for watching. I'm really looking forward to this race here at Watkins Glen this week. And yeah, just looking at the early qualifying times, we actually got Bo Cattell up in P1 with about 3/10 quicker than Ethan, so see how that goes.
Yeah, we've still got the 5.5 minutes to go of quality of 1:46.2. Probably won't stand, I wouldn't think. There's some quick times to come, but mind you, we're looking at the track temperature at the moment.
Pretty warm.
And it is up, it's up to 39 degree track temperature. It's, weather is partly cloudy, and also the wind, at northwest wind at 16 kilometres an hour. So that's going to play a few tricks on them as well. We've got a field of 22 cars here tonight, and it should be a great race. And this is a very strong field.
Yeah, it is. We've got Bo Cubis in here who just won the previous race here with much cooler temperatures. I still think in this weather we should see somewhere in the high 145s, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I think fuel burn is not going to be too much of an issue tonight. Just a short race, just the 18 laps. So the guys will be starting off probably 71, 72 litres, but those times now are starting to come down, including Bo Cattell himself has improved to a 146.143. Benny Smith 146.253, just the 2 1,000ths of a second up on our series leader. We could almost call him series champion, to be honest with you. I think he's done enough work, and he's the 2 1,000ths down to Greg Sharp at the moment, who's the last to put a time in with a 148.287. So like I said, it should be a strong race. These guys have done a lot of racing over the last week, but with 2 rounds to go, this one and of course Bathurst, it's a long race next week, 33 laps. So looking forward to this sprint race tonight, and should see plenty of action.
I think we're going to see a buttload of action here today, Brenton. We still haven't got Ian Ford, who hasn't completed a qualifying lap either, and just having a look, I don't know if he's on a hot one. He's got a bit of right front damage, but he's coming across the line now. No, so I believe he's probably just starting his flyer. No, there it is. Pole position.
Look,
146.
Yeah, look to the top. Yeah, so that Maverick Welding Holden Commodore there has put himself on provisional pole. He's just the 16 1,000ths up on Bo Cattell at the moment. So the draft is fairly important. I didn't see whether Ian had a lap in the draft or not. It didn't look like he did, and he comes out behind. Well, someone just had a big lose. That's Wayne Kendall on the exit of turn 1 there. Wayne in 11th place. Actually, Wayne's done a pretty good job of late with the Green's tough car there, but he's going to have to pull out of that, obviously. And another guy coming into form as well, down in 13th place at the moment, Corey Presser for the Apexi Racing team.
Yeah, that's right, Corey Presser. See how he goes out here. Just having a little look here. It's really tight at the top. I don't think anyone's going to get into the 145s here. We've still got about 3 minutes left to qual, 2.5 minutes. Ethan's got a bit of work to do if he wants to get up front.
Yeah, he has, but we can see what he's done before. I think last week he started in 4th place in the grid as well at Montreal and got the job done there. I think also at Monza was on the 2nd row of the grid there, and again had a win. The guy is very, very quick. We know what he did in the Spa 4-hour race yesterday, where in a very, very strong field, Ethan Griggold took the pole position with an incredible mid lap and did a great job there. The race didn't quite work out so well for the STC drivers, but back into the racing today, and there's still a long way to go for the rest of the year.
Yeah, Ethan's on a flyer now, just coming down through the chute. To be honest with you, I'd kind of like to see him start back in the pack a little bit today.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a disadvantage being too far back. I don't think you'd want to be outside the top 6, but like you said, some incredibly close times here, 46.127 for Ian Ford, and you've got to go all the way down to 16th before you see a car outside of that 1 second gap. So it is a track that's conducive to close times, close racing. Passing opportunities, they do seem like it's available here on the well thought out name Back Straight. They put a bit of effort into that one.
Indeed.
But you know, the passing opportunities are not as high as what people think.
No, they're not. There's a big draft, but there's also a very big opportunity to protect your line as you're coming into the outer loop and a few at the end of the back straight. But yeah, there's a few spots you can put someone under pressure and get them to run a little bit wide. Here comes Ethan across the line and see if he can improve. And he does. Takes the pole. 145.
Takes the pole.
961. Great
Yeah,
lap.
and Ian Ford has smacked his car into the wall. So Ian Ford's qualifying has come to a finish. I would imagine he's not going to be able to get a lap in now, just a minute and a half to go. So Ford's best time will be third. Just had, who was it coming across the line now? I think the old boy Marty Carroll was coming up to his end of his lap, I think. So no improvement there. And Dave Moore and Jack Boyd. Jack Boyd again got himself into the top 10, so that's an awesome effort to Jack Boyd so far. We've got the minute to go.
Yeah, we got Ben Smith. I think he's on an out lap. I don't know if he's... Yeah, he should have time to get across the line. Marcelo Rivera, 145.87. Great lap there by the number 6.
Yeah, and he's running the Maverick Welding colours this week as well. So some exciting times there for the Evolution Racing Australia team, hopefully to come. But he's still got time for another hot lap, and he's got Blake Coppo returning to the series as well. So actually, at the moment, you've got 4 of the Maverick Welding cars all in line. Ian Ford, Anthony Mansarella, and Blake Coppo and Ben Smith actually parked it for this qualifying. So down into 5th place now for Ben Smith. So had to pull that up. Obviously had dramas. He might get time for another lap. It would be very tight. Wouldn't think so with just the 15 seconds to go.
Yeah, we're going to see Ethan crossing the line here in a minute. He's going to get another shot. He's also got this lap. See what he does.
Yeah, he's just going to make it, I'd say. And a slight improvement, but not there yet. But yes, does get the chance for another lap. Not sure whether Ben Smith does. Bo Cattell coming out the pits. Not sure why he'd want to do that. Qualifying has come to an end. The flag is up. Mario Vlasic has finished his time as a privateer and down in 20th position. Wayne Kendall, 13th position. I'd say he'd be reasonably happy with that. That's about par for the course there. James Keane in the pits. We've got Ford, who won't be running a time. Anthony Mansarella coming behind him as they exit the last turn there. Where are we up to? Turn 11, sorry. See if there's an improvement by Mansarella. Yeah, just the one spot. You got past Mick Cracknell, so Mick a little bit off the pace here tonight so far.
Yeah, he is. He had a good race last race. Finished 3rd there. He'd be happy with that. And yeah, he's got a lot of work to do from P18 tonight. But Watkins Glen's one of those tracks where everyone has quite a bit of experience. And like some of the names that you're not used to seeing up in the top 10, they might just be creeping in there tonight.
Yeah, well, for the first time that I can know, Marcelo Rivera has taken pole position tonight. He hasn't had a lot of time in the seat either this week, so he's pulled out a fantastic lap there, a 145.873. Takes the pole position in front of our, I'm going to call him the Series Elect champion, Ethan Grigdor at 145.921, so 5/100ths of a second there. Bo Cattell, 46 flat in front of Ian Ford, up in the 4th.
Speaking of Egg Nation, turn 11, here he comes up the straight, see if he improves.
Yeah, I do forget. Because he will get that in
and no,
46.
He had about 3 laps on his tyres there, so that's our grid, I would say.
Yeah, that would be.
All that's left is the pace car, and I don't think he's going to be getting pole position.
Well, I've seen some crazy things over the last 24 hours with pace cars, mate. So you never know.
Oh, we won't mention the pace car. Hashtag fail.
No. It's a hard thing to organise.
Oh, it's horrible, especially on a big track. It's really difficult.
Yep. So yeah, we'll go through the. Actually, you could lead us through the results there, Sammy, if that's all right.
Yeah, we got Marcelo Rivera P1, Ethan Grigdor P2. Bo Cattell, Ian Ford, Ben Smith rounding out the top 5. Nice time there from Bo Cabis. Aaron Hamilton, hopefully he has a bit more luck than last race. Mitchell McLeod and the old fella Marty Carroll, P9. Jack G. Boyd, P10.
Yeah, so good effort there by Jack Boyd. His time seemed to improve. Todd Parks also did a good job there. Blake Coppo he has only got back in iRacing in the last probably 2 or 3 days. Corey Preston probably down on where he wanted to be. Jason Quire as well. Mickey Cracknell certainly down, but 22 cars, strong field. Jason Bentz will be the 22nd car for the JFF car. So, but Jason has done a lot of work with the GT1s of late and has had some really good success in the Sim Racers Asia Series, but in the V8s now, so we'll see how that goes for him tonight. So just gridding up now, still a bit of time to go, so 18 laps, it'll be a pretty quick race, and hopefully won't see too many dramas in the early stages, especially through all the SS turn 3, 2, 3 and 4, and should be hopefully a clean race for these guys and they can get on with it after that.
Yeah, they just got to keep their heads while the tyres are getting up to temp. Revs are building, here we go.
Green, green, green.
And away they go. And a good start by Ethan Grigol, and also a solid start again by Bo Cattell. We know the type of things he can do at the start as they go into turn 1. Marcelo Rivera holds that position. A late dive by Ian Ford. Oh, very, very edgy here. Marcelo Rivera and Ethan Grigol are going to go 2 by 2 into this S's here. Ethan has to succumb there. Marcelo Rivera leads.
Yeah, great start. The whole field's got through nice and cleanly. That normally identifies that we're going to have a great race.
And position changes in the background. Ian Ford's going to go deep, and he's got inside of Ethan Grigol. So Ian Ford from 4th, has he been able to hold on to 2nd as they go through the carousel, or out of loop, whatever they want to call it here, but definitely the carousel, and the ERA boys are coming 1-2. So Marcelo Rivera, Ian Ford, Bo Cattell, a great start for him, and Ethan Grigol, you don't normally see him go down after that start.
Yeah, he'll just have his eyes forward. Hopefully the boys are pedaling hard so he can maybe break the draft. I know that's a big call this early, but that's what he'll be looking to do.
So it looks like a pretty clean start. I think Mario Vlasic has some issues with Greg Sharp again on lap 1, and also with Dave Moore. So problems for Mario Vlasic again. It's going to come to the stage where eventually someone's going to have to do something about that. But as they go through here into turn 10 on the exit of turn 11, Marcelo Rivera, I think this will be the first time he's actually led a race in the official series, which just confirms his good form of late. But at the moment, 1-2 for the Evolution Racing Australia Maverick Welding cars. Bo Cattell, after his success last night in 3rd. Ethan Grigol will be keeping a very interested eye on his progress, 4th position.
Yeah, great work by Marcelo Rivera. Great start. Just kept it all together, and he leads his first lap in the SLF for the season. So good job to him. A little bit of trouble. Yeah, a little bit of trouble back there with Mansarella. He's had a big incident. Yeah, unfortunately, that might be him.
Yeah, now we've also got Jason Bentz. We talked about him beforehand, pretty much a GT1, GT3 driver now, but he's in the pits, and that car looks like it's history. You can't really afford a pit stop in such a short sprint race, so that'll be the end of his day, I would think. And also, yeah, Anthony Mansarella had some issues as well, certainly got some damage to the right front. But up at the front again, this is really, it's not going anywhere. This is what we're saying. It's going to be so hard to pull yourself away from the rest of the pack here with that draft, but at the same time, you're going to have to really work to get that past them. I think Ian Ford did a fantastic job in making that move so early, and it passed both cars, passed both Bo Cattell and Ethan Grigol into that turn.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, it's a really short race, 18 laps. These boys have not got any time, so if you get a chance, they're going to be wanting to make that move. You can see the top 5 now. It's less than a second between them.
I honestly think, with the weather here, it's probably been as hot as it's been all week. Like I said, with the track temperature 39 degrees, so you might get some guys.
Sorry, Ethan had a big slide in the final turn there.
Well, he's had a bigger slide on the exit of it too, so he's going to drop down another position. So teammate Bo Kubis, we talked about him winning the 6:15 race, has been able to overtake Ethan Grigol. Not sure there's going to be a necessity for team orders now. I think the championship certainly is in the pocket of Ethan Grigol. Wouldn't mind seeing what happens down here on the back straight. Ethan's got a really good run out of the S's here. Certainly can make some ground in this slipstream here. I'm not sure
So
he's going to be able to...
all over the back of him like a fat guy on a cupcake. He's making a move. He's to the inside. Can he make it stick?
Yep. So new change in leader here. Marcelo Rivera dropping down to second. Ian Ford up to the lead now. And that's put immediate pressure on Rivera here from Cattell from behind.
Yeah, Ian Ford with his trademark right front damage. I think he might have just had a little bit of a net incident there coming up through the chicanes, or as they call it, turn 3 and 4. Very creative. Also got Bo Cattell now all in the back of Rivera.
Yeah, Bo's showing some good pace here and had a pretty good start from that position. Just obviously have a bit of a problem here. Do we with Ben Smith? I seem to have lost him. He's gone down. He's got a bit of damage there, so might like to see what's happened there. It's Corey Preston and Ben have had a bit of a tangle, and whoa. Yeah, so Corey Preston's race has come to an end. Pretty sure about that. He's certainly been put into the wall.
Yeah, and while we're watching that, Ian Ford's just checking out up the front.
Ooh. Yeah, Marcelo Rivera under massive attack from Bo Cattell now. And that STC Falcon of Bo Kubis is just sitting there watching and waiting. And yeah, Ian Ford does seem to have checked out a bit here. And if he keeps going the way he's going, he's going to be able to break that draft and go on and have a real strong presence on this race. Marcelo Rivera, like I said, probably through a lack of track time this week, to be honest with you. I don't think he's had a lot of practice at all. So no one would be more surprised about his pole position than him. But he's going to be under some serious attack from Bo Cattell here.
Oh, Cattell, he's locked the rear brakes. Oh, he's done a good job to save that. Two STC cars slip through on the inside of the carousel and get through cleanly. Good job, good save, Bo Cattell. Yeah,
that releases Bo Kubis now, doesn't it? So the two STC boys now trailing the two ERA cars. So the fight will certainly be on here. Bo Kubis, we saw the pace he did. Just still wondering whether team orders will come into play there. You know more about it, Sammy, than I would. Whether they think there's going to be a lot of pressure there, and also just back a little bit. I think that's, who is that? Mitch McLeod and Marty Carroll having a little bit of a dingle there as well.
There we go. Bo lets Ethan through. There are no team orders at the moment, mate, but Bo is a very considerate race driver and he knows what's happening. Like, Ethan doesn't need to win, yes. He doesn't. But nope. I think it's just a bit of morality, mate. That's not the right word, but let's just say it is.
No, I think you used that word once. You made yourself sound important, so you run it again. Good idea to you. So, yeah, there's lots of good battles here. At the front here, we've got Ian Ford. He's got himself out to 1.5 seconds over Marcelo. Ethan Grigol, now that's the guy to watch, obviously. Multiple race winner here in the official series. But let's see how... Well, he's going to need to get through Marcelo fairly quickly. I can't see Marcelo making life too easy for him. I'm sure back in the field here we've got Mitch McLeod making gains on Aaron Hamilton with the old fella Marty Carroll in tow as well. So this is a battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. Down the back straight here, that draft certainly coming to play, and Aaron probably not getting the most out of that draft from Bo Cattell in front.
Let's just run a little bit wide there. Who was that?
So Hamilton just that little bit wide there into the carousel. So as they enter this part of the track here, the chute they call it, and we go up to the toe and then onto the straight of the boot. Again, very creative.
Let me guess. Is it the heel, the next corner?
You are a genius, my friend. There's no doubt about that. So, but that little mistake by Hamilton certainly got McLeod right in his hammer here. Easy spot to attack here. Just down to second gear. We might actually go on board at the conclusion of this lap with the old fella himself, Marty Carroll. He's probably got the best view of
Yeah,
this
great
two
view
in
of the
front of
action.
us. So we'll just jump on board Marty at the conclusion of this lap and see what kind of things that he can see. But at the moment, these guys are just about to complete lap 5. Ian Ford he's doing a good steady job there, and I think he's really broken that draft of Marcelo Rivera. But we'll jump on board the car number 10 of Marty Carroll here, STC Motorsports. It goes into turn 1 here, the tight 90-degree corner. A lot of the guys will take this in third gear. Some choose to take it in second gear to get that early turn in. On the power up to the very technical part, turns 2, 3 and 4, short shifting into fifth. You don't want any wheel spin here. The draft in front, it's such a real thing here. It's so hard to keep your car steady there, and these guys have all done a great job onto the famous back straight. You can see Hamilton has weaving a little bit to try and break that draft. It's not the hardest thing in the world to sit behind a car as they go into turn 5 here, the carousel, and turn 5, they call it the outer loop. Down to third gear here. This is normally we'd be going down there to the right on the old classic Watkins Glen track, and gee whiz, McLeod very deep under brakes there. That's going to open the door for Marty Carroll with a good exit. Not sure it's going to be able to stick there. I think McLeod's still going to be coming up in front of our screen very shortly. Marty's trying to hold this, but even again on the next turn here, he's going to be on the outside here. Geez, it's close between these two. We can't actually see
side by side.
Mitch McLeod at all. But side by side, hard to keep it there, Marty, and you'll see again Mitch McLeod just cross over front, but he's got himself a chance here, Marty, if he can be brave enough, not choosing to do that. So again, down to second gear, back onto the section of the cup section here as they enter turn 10 and 11, down to third gear here. Some will try and hold fourth. Just hard on the power here. It's such a good driver's track here. The V8s just love this track. Again, third gear, early on the power here, using all the track on the exit, and that would be a lap 6 of Watkins Glen Cup. Boot.
Yeah, action-packed lap there for the viewers. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm sure the drivers are enjoying it. And Ian Ford's out to a 2.2 gap at the front while we watch this battle.
Yeah, but look who's actually coming second at the moment, though. Ethan Grigol has got past Marcelo Rivera. We missed that during that exciting lap with Marty Carroll. So down the back straight there, and Bo Cubis can also put some pressure now on Marcelo. But the thing is here, these guys can stick to Ethan. Hopefully they can both stick to him with a bit of luck and stay in their draft. We're on lap 7 here, so we've still got 11 and a half laps to go, and 2.6 is your difference between second place man Ethan Grigol and Ian Ford.
I'll tell you where we got a bit more action, and that's back here with Mick Cracknell, Black Coco and Ben Smith. Pretty tight back here too.
Yeah, Mick Cracknell, we've talked about it before, he hasn't had the best season, and he'll be the first to admit that, but there's been signs of life. He's got a bit of a pulsy old fellow. He's not that old really, but certainly a veteran now in the V8 ranks, and has got himself a couple of finishes of late. But in front of him, Blake Coppo and Ben Smith. We saw Ben have a bit of a tag with Corey. Not sure how that went, didn't see the incident, but Ben Smith ever recovering here, and it's just great to see Blake Coppo racing there too. Young fellow from Mackay, Queensland, does a lot of mountain biking, and good to see him probably put the mountain bike away at night time. He did a 6-hour race or a 24-hour race over the weekend in the mountain bikes, and I reckon he'd be pretty sore today.
Mountain bike enduro. Yeah, good to see Blake back as a fellow Queenslander. We'd like to see lots of Queenslanders out here in the V8s, and yeah, poor old Mick Cracknell, he's taken more hits than Google this season, so it's good to see him with a clean car close to the halfway stage.
So the gap now from Ian Ford, he did his last lap of 46.465 compared to a 4.89, so really just the 2 100ths of a second difference there. But Ethan just seems to be stretching that elastic a little bit between himself and Marcelo Rivera. I'm not sure Bo Cubis is going to want to sit behind Marcelo for too long, and then maybe those two STC Simpic cars might want to think about working together and trying to see if they can close that gap between their chasing pack, of which Bo Cattell is certainly a part of, and the leader.
Yeah, and I was just talking to Ian Ford after the last race. He said he was taking it easy and trying to save his tyres. And I don't know if he's doing that this race, but we'll have to see how he goes in the later stages. But like Marty Carroll said, Ian Ford doesn't really know how to save his tyres.
Well, he does save his tyres. He buys them on eBay. He saves money, but he doesn't save them when he uses them. So, but you know, he has a pretty unique setup. Does our man 40 doesn't mind the rear getting away from him a bit and drives it very, very loose. But his car control is excellent. But it does work extremely hard on his setups, and that's shown. Like he's second place in this series at the moment. Still this race and Bathurst to go. And I'm not sure what the points were after last night in the Premier Series, but up until last night I know he was running second in that, so he probably makes a heavier commitment to the V8s than probably anyone else, and he's there week in, week out. Certainly he's massively in front in the Wednesday night OSR series as well. So this is a guy who just loves his iRacing. People get talking about getting burned down and things like that, and they do. It's easy to see why, but he genuinely just loves being part of it.
Yeah, he certainly does, mate. And just looking at the lap times, him and Ethan are pretty much lapping at par. So, yeah, Ethan's going to have to pick it up here. We've just half the race is gone and there's half the race to go. So, see what Ethan can do.
You are a genius, Sammy. Don't let anyone say otherwise. Half the race gone, which means half to go. You are a famous person.
I'll give you my autograph later, mate. Who do I make it out to? Brian.
Yes, yeah,
Brian O'Brien.
To be sure. We've still got this battle here between Aaron Hamilton, Mitch McLeod and Marty Carroll. And Marty's last lap of 47.4. Behind him, the chasing pack, Smith, Coppo and Cracknell are coming as well. Smith made that 3/10 gain. These guys here are just the 2.3 seconds off. So with the draft going to be available, this is going to turn into a 6-horse race pretty shortly, probably the next 2-3 laps.
Yeah, Aaron's got that little bit of damage on the right front. I don't know if it's going to affect his front, his straightaway speed. But Marty gets a bit loose there coming out.
And another good battle here, and we talk about him week in, week out. I'm really surprised no teams picked this fella up. Jack Boyd has got himself up into 12th place. He's there every week. This is why he just finished top 10 in qualifying. If I was... if ERA weren't so full, I would certainly look at picking this guy up. He doesn't seem to make a lot of mistakes. Up into 12th place at the moment, he's got guys like Todd Park, Jason Quire, Wayne Kendall behind him, and Dave Moore also coming now as well after his dramas with Mario Vlasic earlier. So again, you know, he's up there every week, Jack Boyd, and kudos to him.
Yeah, it's good to see Jack running strong. I'm sure it won't be long until someone does pick him up.
And really, like the longer the V8s go, there just seems to be more and more teams coming out. It's fantastic to see, and
it
just makes the racing that much closer and that much more interesting. And guys helping them each other with setups, and we've seen a couple of alliances. I'm not even going to try and say them. I seem to get them wrong every week, so I've given up on that.
Yeah, we'll just leave that alone.
Yeah, we'll leave that alone. Apologies already. But you know, the alliances coming and going, there's no doubt, but it does make teams a bit stronger, and I think as a result the racing certainly has picked up.
Yeah, and you know yourself when you see up and coming drivers, people are pretty quick to pick them up, so you need to be quick these days if you want to pick up some talent that's available, because everyone's all over it.
Yeah, well, you look at guys like Ethan Grigol, SDC picked him up pretty snappy, and look at the results they get, some great results. There's a good fellow, Brett Cananzi. He came in season 2 this year. SDRT picked him up, and again, very quick driver. But we've also got a bit of a battle here between Mitch McLeod and Aaron Hamilton. These guys were side by side, and they're going to go probably side by side here as they go into the turn 1. Marty Carroll taking the wide line here. He's going to be really good. That's always good. That's Mitch McLeod tagging the back of Aaron Hamilton. Yeah, that's
there's
not
another
gonna...
car. Who's that? That'll be
that's Jason Quire.
So he's taking.
Yeah. So Hamilton and Marty are going to be filthy about that, but we'll shortly, hopefully get a chance to have a look at that.
Yeah, I
So,
think we
yes.
captured that. Yeah. Oh,
So
Mitchell just
massive
into the
dramas
left
there.
rear quarter panel, into Aaron. Aaron spins, takes out Marty. And then what's happened in the background? Oh, JQ's come down on the grass. There's no chance of pulling it up there on the grass.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. What that has done, though, is promoted the guys Smith, Coppo, and Mick Cracknell's finally been able to cash in on somebody else's misfortune for once. So Aaron Hamilton's damage is too serious. So yeah, they'll be having a chat about that after the race. Not sure whether Mitch McLeod will. Yeah, we'll have a chat, no doubt, about that later on. But I'm not sure whether Mitch has got any damage or not. But seems to be okay, is he? Not sure. We'll soon find out whether he has to have a pit stop or not. Just looks like the car is struggling to have turning. So I'm thinking he's going to be under a heavy attack here shortly from Benny Smith and Coppo and Cracknell behind.
And while we've been watching all the action back in the pack, Ethan Griggold has pulled that elastic band in from Ian Ford quite a little bit. He's only 1.6 seconds behind him now, so he'll definitely start benefiting from the draft down the back straight.
Yeah, he'd be getting right into that now, and I'm thinking Ian would have been hoping that Marcelo could have held off Ethan for maybe another one or certainly two laps would have been handy. But yeah, it's going to make for a great race. That's what we want. We don't want to see a car driving off in the distance, and you'll see that Maverick Welding car and the Simpit car, Simpit.com car, getting closer and closer all the time. But as we know, as Murray Walker said, catching is one thing and passing is another.
Ooh, it's a day of the quotes.
So this battle here is certainly closed up now between Ben Smith and Mitch McLeod. Both of these cars probably carrying just that little bit of damage now, and also just behind them we've also got Blake Coppo and Mick Cracknell certainly closing up, and also behind them Jack Boyd, Todd Parks, Wayne Kendall have certainly closed up. So we're on lap 12 now, and the race is certainly closing up these little battles.
Yeah, and it's not only closing up the battles, it's we're running out of laps really quick here, so people will start getting a bit impatient soon.
Yeah, we probably saw that a couple of laps
We've probably,
ago
well, that's right.
With Mitch and Aaron and Marty, and we won't play the blame game just yet until we have a good look on replay about that. It did look fairly one-sided, but we'll judge that later on. But again, up at the front here, Ben Smith is certainly all over the back of Mitch McLeod. Just gets affected by that under the draft on the exit turn 11 there. But if you can just see Smith just seems to be all over the back of McLeod here, wondering whether his tyres are hanging in there a bit better than the car in front.
Yeah, nice and smooth there by Ben Smith. He can get through turns 3 and 4 here and get a good run up the straight. He might be in a position. Mitchell's got a little
very
bit of contact.
close. Yeah, I did too. Looked very, very close, but not going to be. He's got a really good drive out there, and it's just hard to stay with that car in front with that draft, isn't it? You just lose all that downforce. The nose just doesn't want to turn in. But this is the part here where Smith looks particularly quick.
Yeah, he does, and I'm just keeping an eye on the split times, and Ethan's now under a second, so it might be worth going back up the front for the last few laps here and just see what Ethan can do.
Yeah, we'll certainly get to that shortly, and just having a look here at Mitch McLeod and Ben Smith still. These guys are on lap 13, so yeah, like I said, they're running out of time. This race is going remarkably quick. Lap time of 1:47.9 last lap for McLeod, so these guys are closing up. Not sure whether Coppo and Cracknell are going to get to these two, probably thinking not, but certainly McLeod heavy under attack now. So as they exit turn 9 back onto the cup course into this third gear corner, fourth for some, turn 10, and just seems to be holding station. I've got no doubt Ben Smith's the faster car here, but just struggling to get it to stick. Exit. He's got a really good run out of here though.
Let's see if Mitchell blocks, well not blocks, defends. Here comes Ben Smith, not close enough.
So both very, very deep under brakes there. And that's going to give Ben Smith a really good chance to have a look. If he can just stick with this in the S's.
Yeah, you
hard
easily
here.
get a bit of understeer through here when you're so close.
Yeah, you probably have to back off a little bit there, Ben Smith. And that's again got Mitch McLeod free. And I think that's what's going to be the problem there for Ethan Grigort as we go up to the front here with Ethan Grigort. And he is all over the back of Ian Ford right now. That could be the problem. So we're at lap 14. So there's still plenty of time to go for Grigort, who's made significant ground on Ford. And let's just see, we know what Ethan can do. He just gets stronger as the race goes on, puts in some great lap times. Carrying the number 1 plate tonight. I think that would almost be the first time he's carried that plate. Normally Bo Cubis or Benny Smith could carry that plate, but he's earned that plate, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he has, and he is all over the back of Ian here. But like you said, it might be a little bit difficult. The places where he could get the pass done is up the back straight. But yeah, that big understeer as you're coming up through turn 2 and 3 makes it hard to get a good run when you're so close.
Yeah, so these guys are about to finish lap 14. It really is just a battle between the two number 1 drivers of the teams, you'd have to say. So they cross the line lap 14 now into the start of lap 15, 46.7. Times are now pretty irrelevant between these two. This is where Ethan Grigort can start his attack.
Indeed, let's see how he goes up here. Probably has to feather it a little bit more than usual, being so close to Ian. Looks like he gets a really nice run out of there.
Quite a good run. So let's just look out for Ford hugging that that right hand side.
Fair enough,
and that's
too.
where he will stick.
Oh, here we go. Oh, deep. Both of the boys.
Tell you what, if Ethan can hold it there.
Done here.
If Ethan can hold that, no.
Great action up front.
It is great action up front, and looking forward to spending the next few laps with these two guys. These two guys have run neck and toe pretty much all season. Sure, these showed his hand there as well, just quietly. So no doubt Ford will be wiser onto that as well.
Hopefully these boys have had a nice cold Red Bull at the start and they're ready to keep it clean and reflexes alive. Here he comes, making another dive. No, just getting in his mirrors, showing him he's there.
Ford very deep. Yeah, I know Red Bull's the drink of choice for both Ethan and for Ian. So yeah, they would have had their Red Bulls tonight, no doubt about that, before they get up and go.
Ethan drinks a 6-pack a day. It's unbelievable.
I couldn't do that.
Well, there's another lap. Ian Ford led another lap. Let's see what Ethan can do. He might have more chance at picking up KD Lang in a bar than getting by Ian here.
Well, he showed his hand, didn't he? And he was able to hold his position through the S's there. And Ian also showed his hand as to what he needs to do. I don't think either of these guys are going to need too much of an invitation to overtake. I'm not forgetting that if Ethan does get the job done and get through, Ian very wide there. This might be also a bit of time to be under attack here again. So replay of the previous lap, we're going through it all again.
Yeah, I've seen this before somewhere. Not as close this time, but he might have a better run out of here.
Well, I can tell you right now in the background there, Marcelo Rivera but just licking his chops about this, because he knows that if these guys fall over at all, he'll be in for his debut maiden win. So this is where Ethan showed his hand before. Ethan's taking it tight line again. So Ian actually used pretty much the middle of the track there, just gave that little car width to Ethan, and Ethan, you can just see that's where he might make a move. In a really strong position here again. Really
he's going to have a look, I think. No, once again. Ian Ford doing a great job just keeping his cool, getting his lines, defending where he has to.
So we're winding down the laps now. They're coming into lap 16, so across the strike these guys will have 2 laps to go. 147.296 for these guys. In the background, Marcelo Rivera making some heavy ground on these guys. He's not going to get to them. We've got, about 10.8 kilometres of racing to go.
Yeah, Ethan's not very close here.
So again, we've been through this. Well, gee, Ian very wide there, and I don't reckon he was able to make the most of what he had there in the power stakes, but he's just pulled that little bit of a gap here, and Ethan again is going to put himself in a position where he can attack. Maybe not going to be able to get to him onto the straight.
Not as close this time.
But again, Ian's taken the defensive line. Certainly doesn't need to take it quite as much here. Just needs to concentrate on his exit here, because you can just see Ethan. You can see his spot where he's picking. He's going to try and go turn 7 at the toe to make that move, and Ian just seems to have that door that little bit open for him on occasion. And this is the spot here. So they've gone through turn 6. No chance there for Ethan, I wouldn't think. And you
No,
can
I
just
think
imagine
he's just going to have to try and get close here and set it up on the last
he's
lap.
got a good drive out here, though.
Yeah, great drive. This is the closest we've seen. Here we go.
Ooh.
Here it is. Here it is. Deep, deep, deep. Great driving. Ian locks a bit of a break. He's going to have the preferred
Ian holds
line.
the high ground. Watch the drive out of this corner by Ethan.
He's going to have a good drive. I think he had to get off it a bit there.
Oh, this is fantastic driving. So these guys are coming up to the last lap. Have a look at this. Watch for the little pedal here by Ethan Griggold. Maybe doesn't choose to do that turn 11 as these guys enter the last lap. Just the 5.4 kilometres of race to go. These are the guys who are leading the championship, first and second respectively, other way around in the championship. Turn 1, Ethan Griggold's going to make a dive. No.
Oh, he's
but
got
he
a good
is
line.
right there.
Good line here.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be this close in the S's though, because you just lose all the air under the car. And he's going to have to back out of it a little bit there. Oh, tell you what, he's been able to hold on to that.
Yeah, this is going to be a
This
chance
is not
here.
over.
Ian knows it too.
Yeah, these guys are going to be right next to each other.
To
This
the
is the last lap.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Ethan's
no.
stronger.
Hold it. Oh, he's
Hold
doing
it. He has. He's
He's
held it.
moving.
I'm not sure. I didn't see contact. I probably had the wrong view.
No,
but the way
nothing.
Ethan swung around.
There was nothing in that 100% racing incident. Held on.
Well, the
to it
two
really
guys
well.
who are racing really hard, and that's probably the third race I've seen the SDC car sideways, and his reflexes to recover that must be magnificent. Doesn't look like there's any damage, thankfully, for Ethan there. Marcelo Rivera is coming at him though, mind you. Not sure if Ethan is carrying any damage.
Well, anyway, a hard-fought victory for Ian Ford. Well-deserved. Great race. Turned it on for the crowd, and yeah, that Maverick Welding going to cross the line and take the win tonight.
Yeah, he's back in the Maverick Welding colours for tonight. Maverick Welding also proud sponsors of Red Bull Racing Australia, so great to have their association involved as he exits the last turn now. Not sure we're going sync tonight, Sammy. But Ian Ford, Revolution Racing Australia car, takes that win. Hard-earned win in front of Ethan Griggold. Marcelo Rivera, third. Fantastic result, first time podium for him. And Bo Cubis in fourth place. Bo Cattell coming across the line now. Geez, didn't he have Ben Smith coming at him hard there? Smithy, a fantastic comeback. But Bo Cattell fifth, Ben Smith in sixth. Mitch McLeod struggling in seventh. Got a good result though. Blake Coppo, fantastic back in. The McLeod has a bit of damage. Mick Cracknell. But yeah, a fantastic race and some close racing throughout. Marty Carroll was able to recover from that. He was totally innocent between McLeod and Hamilton there. A good little finish also here with Vlasic and Greg Sharp. So these are the guys who came together at the start. So those guys end up finishing on the lead lap and in 17th and 18th. So
yeah,
a great race.
Great race. This would be a really great endurance track, I think. I love Watkins, Glen. I love watching the V8s on here at iRacing. I love watching the NASCARs in real life. It just promotes fantastic racing.
Yeah, it's a race. It's a track that promotes close racing, and yeah, like you said, we've seen Marcus Ambrose in the real series have some massive success there. Certainly won 2 races back to back. But it was a great result and a great race, and certainly well worth watching. So,
Yeah,
Sam, talk us through the results.
Yeah, well, as we said, Ian Ford P1, great drive. Ethan Grigalt P2. Marcelo Rivera finishing off the podium was P3. Bo Cubis, good finish. P4. Bo Cattell, P5. Then we got Ben Smith, Mish McLeod, Blake Coppo, Mick Cracknell's snuck into the top 10 there, so good drive from him. Where did he qualify? Back in 16th position, and yeah, Jack G. Boyd rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, and just can't help but notice on the broadcast it actually shows Ian Ford in the Demoldov Innovations colours, certainly running the Maverick Welding colours tonight, so it's a bit of a shame that didn't come through for you, but like you said, Ethan's done enough in the championship. I think his worst result for the season is probably a 3rd place, so
horrible.
Yeah, so he must lose sleep at night in coming 2nd in a race, so yeah, he is a very, very well-deserved champion, and has done a fantastic job all year.
Yeah, he has, and so has Ian Ford, and so have all the boys. It's been fantastic racing. What do we got? 1 race left in the season next week, and yeah, just we're still trying to raise the funds to keep this broadcast going next year. We are over halfway, so we're still trying to get some donations or some sponsorships. So if anyone out there wants to help out, then you'll find a link in the V8 forums. It would be much appreciated.
Yeah, it would be, and RaceSpot do a fantastic job week in, week out. It's it's hard for our host tonight, Hugo. Over there in Brazil, it's some stupid o'clock in the morning there for him, so it's very much appreciated. And also to yourself, Sam, overseas. Where are you, in Norway or something?
Yeah, you got that right, mate. I'm coming to you live from Norway. So good to see the Aussie V8s every Monday. It's really enjoyable for me to get back in contact with my fellow Australians.
Yeah, and I was just in the meantime just having a look at that little incident there between McLeod and Hamilton, and that's fairly convincing right there as to what's happened. I think if Mitch has a good look at that, I think, hoping he'd be reasonable enough to go, that probably wasn't Aaron's fault. Aaron certainly looked like he held his line, and Mitch drove into the back of it. And poor old Marty Carroll, totally innocent party there, and certainly affected both their races. Marty kind of made some ground back up in the 12th place, but Hamilton down into 21st, second last.
Yeah, Aaron definitely picked up a lot of damage there, and that was his day done, unfortunately. But yeah, it's one of those tracks. It's a high-speed track. It's a tight track. Things are always going to happen, aren't they?
And Bathurst next week, mate, 33 laps there, and that's probably, I think it's fuel restricted as well, so it's going to be a massively tight race, and also it's going to be very strategic, probably thinking of 2 pit stops there. So we're probably looking forward to that race. It's going to be certainly a long one. We've also got, in the meantime, tonight for the Evolution Racing Australia team in a fantastic 3rd position. His first podium, I believe, in the official series, but also with a magnificent pole position. Certainly the first time he's taken pole position tonight, Marcelo Rivera. Marcelo, welcome to the Round 11 broadcast of the iRacing V8 Supercar Championship. Mate, congratulations on a great result, but just as importantly, tell us about that lap.
Oh, thanks, Brenton. It's great to have a podium position for the first time in this series. At least I can see signs that I'm improving, so it's always good. But I definitely hooked up that quali lap. Definitely wasn't much room for improvement for myself. To be honest, I was still expecting one of the other boys to get me just in the end, but wasn't to be.
And mate, this is your first full season in the V8. It's coming to a close next week at Bathurst. There's other races obviously that go on, but just your impressions of your first season in the V8. How have you found the car to drive? You obviously hold a lot of success in the open wheels, and in fact with 1 round to go of the Star Mazda Australian Championship on Thursday night. So you're leading that championship. But the comparison between the V8 compared to any other car you've driven, how much harder is it?
It definitely doesn't compare to the open wheelers. Just the whole dynamic of the car and the way you've got to drive it. Just you really have to completely change the way you attack the corners, the way you put on the power, your braking. There's a lot to it, and it requires a lot of patience, a lot more patience than any other car in iRacing, that's for sure. And the only reason, probably the main reason why I'm only just getting into the V8 series is because of that fact that it does take that much more time to get used to. So, but now that I'm consistently racing week in week out, it's starting to show, I hope.
Well, it is, mate, and yourself and your teammate Ben Smith seem to be improving every week. But tonight, certainly, mate, you stole the limelight there with a fantastic pole position and an awesome third position, mate, in the race. Congratulations for you for that. Mate, is there anyone you shout out to at all?
Just the Maverick Welding seems to be bringing me a bit of luck tonight, so I might have to hold on to him.
Well, mate, good job, mate, and hopefully Bathurst next week. I think that'll be the first time you run the V8 at Bathurst. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, Bathurst will definitely be an intense race. Everyone always seems to bring out their best around there. It's definitely a crowd favourite. So, not sure where my pace will be, but hopefully if it's on the game, I'll be able to have another good result. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, Marcelo, good job tonight, mate. Third tonight, and obviously looking forward to bigger and better things next week at Bathurst. So Marcelo Rivera, third place tonight in the official series here at Watkins Glen. We've got second place man Ian Ford.
First, mate. First.
Wow. That's so bad.
Good drive on your second place there, Ian.
Good to see you watch this broadcast.
Maybe it's just a habit, old boy. He's giving you a touch-up this season. No. Hey, look, congratulations, Ian Ford. Fantastic effort, mate, and you should be really wrapped with that performance, mate. And good job there. Probably a bit of help from Marcelo early, but tell us a bit about the race.
Quali didn't go quite as expected. I was on an absolute blitzer of a lap and I put myself in the wall, so lucky that I came out with all guns firing after finishing off my Red Bull at the start of the race, like when we were sitting on the grid. And, I was absolutely buzzing and went as aggressive as I could, and, I was up in second by the end of the straight, so from there on I just basically had to clear Marcelo because I thought I had good enough race pace to hold off everyone else, and I made two vital mistakes about halfway through the race, and I gave Ethan about 2 seconds back, and after that it was just full on as fast as I could go. The car was starting to slip and slide up through the S's, and as you can tell around here, the draft along that straight doesn't really help if you have a slippery car through the S's, so I went a bit defensive a few times, and that's basically what I had to do to get the win. And in the last lap there, Ethan literally tried going around the outside of me, and I was just going to hold him on the inside. I was just going to hold the inside again, and bit of door-to-door contact, and thank goodness it didn't bin us both, but we both made it to the finish, and it's great to get a win again. This is the second one in the broadcast, so I'm going to go celebrate.
Well, mate, just that first lap down the back straight there, mate, tell us about that. That was fantastic from fourth up into second, using the draft of both cars in front. I think it was Cattell and Ethan in front of you, and just was able to stick that on the inside. Tell us a bit about that move.
Oh, it all started heading up through the S's. I don't know if Ethan hit the curb or something, but his rear just broke loose that little bit, and it just bottlenecked the guys, and I was rolling out of it just a little bit to stay behind them and getting momentum, and on the second part of the S's I just put my foot down. Whatever happens to the car happens to the car, and Bo went to go left of Ethan, and that was a silly move. I went to the right, and Bo came across, and obviously I was already there, and then Ethan tried to cover there, and I found enough room for my car to go through, and just managed to pull it up in the carousel, so straight up into second was bloody awesome for the to get rid of the quali position.
Yeah, how good is this track in the V8 Supercar, Ian? I think it's one of the best suited tracks on the schedule this season for the V8.
Oh, definitely. Without the chicane along the back straight that the NASCAR uses, it's definitely one of the best ones. purely flowing, like all about momentum, as you saw with Ethan attacking me. Like we could get side by side, and even with Bo in the early race, I held him side by side for probably like 5 or 6 corners, just because it's all about keeping the momentum up and making sure that you have like you can grip on that line sort of thing. And yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. We need more old tracks like this.
Well, mate, fantastic job tonight, mate, winning round 11, following up your win at Alton Park. I think that was way back round 2, mate. So, you're still getting the job done, mate, and a fantastic job that you're doing. Mate, is there anyone you want to thank tonight at all?
Oh, I definitely want to thank Demidov Innovations, awesome sponsor for the series, and also the car and everything. And Maverick Welding, since I went back to them for tonight's race, and absolutely wonderful performance to actually get a win with them once again. Hopefully we got more in the future coming our way, but, only time will tell. Hopefully we get a win next week, and thanks Brenton and everyone for not knowing that I won.
Just call him Brian, mate.
It's an old habit that dies hard, 40. We'll talk to you later on, mate. Good job. Ian Ford, winner of tonight's race. We're going to finish up here with Marty Carroll. Yeah, get on your bow. You'd think Bo would know how to work this by now. We've got Bo Cubas. Where's he off to? We've got Bo Cubas and Marty Carroll, SDC guys. Actually, we'll drag Ethan Grigg Galt here as well. Ethan, first of all, to you, congratulations. Second place tonight. Came really hard at Ian Ford. Once you got that release from Marcelo, probably about 7-8 laps to go, mate, came hard at him, and what was a fantastic last 5 laps.
Yeah, you're right. I got past Marcelo and I was pushing the hardest I ever have in this car, because I'm just absolutely loving this track at the moment. So yeah, I knew if I could get in the draft of Ian up the back straight, I'd be able to close the gap down incredibly fast, and we'd have a great race at the end, and that's exactly what we did.
And we'll keep it fairly short, but Bo, to you, mate, the winner of the 6:15 race, and I think the way you fairly defended there certainly gave Ian some ideas for the main race tonight with 8:15. Just being able to hold that right hand lane on that back straight makes it so much harder for the car behind to get past.
Yeah, definitely. The inside of the carousel's got a way more grip than the outside line, so yeah, you've got to cover that inside.
And Marty Carroll, to you, old boy, mate, totally innocent passenger there with the incident with Mitch McLeod and Aaron Hamilton. I think your pacemaker, probably lucky you got one, mate, because the old heart rate would have gone through the roof.
Yeah, I don't like these sprint races. They're too intense for me. But, thanks to Dimidov and RaceSpotTV putting on a great broadcast once again. And congratulations to Ian and Ethan and Marcelo putting on a good show up front there. And it was nice to have one of the SDC Motorsport Simpit rocket ships up front. So, all in all, a good result for the team. Unfortunate for myself. I think Mitch just made a bit of a mistake as we were running quite tight with Aaron Hamilton there. And he just got into the back of him, and yeah, innocent bystander, but those things happen in motor racing.
And Marty, moving forward to next week with the team Bathurst 33 laps, mate, as the race manager of Ethan Grigg Galt, you must be super proud because, I think really if there was any questions about Ethan being the series champion, I think all those questions have disappeared with a fantastic second place tonight. So as a team manager, what would you say about Ethan and what can you say to Ethan?
Oh, other than a massive congratulations, and for a relative newcomer to the sim racing world, he's for a young fella, he's got a quite level-headed, and when we picked him up during season 1, way back in February, he's come along leaps and bounds, and very easy guy to coach and to get along with, and he wants to be up front and wants to be competing with the best, and so we do everything in our power to help him achieve his goals.
Yeah, well, he scored more than Tommy Lee at a boat party this season, so good job to Ethan.
And Ethan, to you, mate, the championship's not over yet, so we'll hold the congrats for next week, mate, but wow, what a performance this season. You must be super impressed.
Yeah, if anyone told me my season 3 would go exactly like this, I'd say they're lying, but Yeah, it's been an absolutely awesome season to me. It's a credit to the guys back at STC just coaching me the entire way, handing me rocket ship setups, as they always say. But yeah, I'm just really enjoying this at the moment.
And Marty, on behalf of yourself, your team, and the V8 Supercar community, mate, is there anyone that you want to thank tonight at all?
Just the ongoing support of Dimmadov Innovations with the broadcast here, as well as Hugo Louis with the RaceSpotTV. I know he gets up and early in the morning over in Brazil and sacrifices his time to make sure we've got a show to put on there for everyone. So, and also Sean Cole, big shout out to Sean over at the Sim Pit, for his ongoing support with SDC Motorsports.
And that was
and Brenton O'Brien and Sam Compton for brilliant commentary all season long, and can't wait for the finale next week at the Mountain.
And neither can they, just quietly. That was Marty Carroll at Ethan Grigol, STC Motorsports. Fantastic job tonight. Sammy, Hugo, I would think that's it. Thank you to you, Sammy. Hugo, as usual, a great job. Looking forward to what's going to be a very long race next week at Bathurst. We discussed that 33 laps. But, yeah, a really good race tonight, Sammy.
Great race, Brenton, and thanks to everyone who came to watch it live, and to everyone who's going to watch it over the next week, and looking forward to Bathurst next week, mate.
Yep, looking very much to that. Hugo, thanks to you. Yeah, like I said, Bathurst next week, it's always the big one. It's the one that people want to win. So on behalf of RaceSpotTV, this was round 11 of the official V8 Supercar Championship, brought to you by Dimmadov Innovations and RaceSpot. I'm Brenton O'Brien, that's Sam Compton. Thanks and a good night.